Now, I'm happy to inform you that our chief guest for this afternoon, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, is with us. And I request the director, the dean, and the associate dean of research to accompany him to the dais.
Thank you very much. It is indeed a great privilege to be here amongst you on your research day in an institute which is perhaps the most premier institute in medical sciences nationally and internationally. So it's a true privilege to come here and be amongst you. So thank you to Director Professor M. Srinivas, Dr. Nikhil Tandon, who contacted me, and the team to have me here. I was just recalling about 5.5 years back in July 2019, before COVID, I had the privilege of giving a talk in AIIMS. At that time, I talked on a physicist's take on life, very presumptuous title, but I showed our experiments where we mimicked flocking, which is usually seen in fishes, birds, even human beings. And we demonstrated from the lab experiments on inanimate objects. I'm a physicist, so I'm not very close to living organisms except me being that. But that time we learned some lessons on flocking, even stampede, which is a news yesterday, what really leads to stampede, how do we understand that, and so on. Now, this time, when Dr. Tandon contacted me, I thought I'll say something on India's science and technology opportunities and challenges because of the new role I have as principal scientific advisor. So I thought I'll share this, and it is appropriate because it's on a research day when research is really one of the major component of S&T ecosystem, as mentioned by our Honorable Prime Minister when he added Jai Anusandhan to his clarion call. So I thought I'll share some of this, and I'm very happy that in some what I'll share, AIIMS is already playing a very leading role. So, uh, so let me just give you some sense of some numbers where we are today in R&D growth story of India. Uh, Global Innovation Index, right now, India has come to 39th last year in 2024, and patents filed is about 1 lakh this year. And the publications, if you look at number wise, it's not bad. We have almost 2 lakh publications, which is the third rank in the world. But I'm not putting here the quality index, which is also we have to look at. And PhDs actually is about 25,000, which is the third rank in the world. Just to give you pictorial, this number is pretty significant because if you look at this is the 2025 projection. This is our thing is the blue line, which is almost matching the total output of US, including domestic and who are from abroad there, and of course China is much above. So what it means is that in R&D, number wise, we have presence. What we need to now work on is equally the high quality which has to come out from our PhDs. The startup success stories, you all know that startups, now we have almost 1.4 lakh startups, which is third in the world, third rank in the world, starting from 450 in 2016, almost exponential growth. And out of which we have almost unicorns, almost 116 till last month, which is the third rank in the world. And the startup if you, ecosystem, exponential growth from 2016 to 22, 15x increase in total funding of startups, 9x increase in the number of investors, and 7x increase in the number of incubators. And these are the statistics. So I thought it is good to look at these statistics to see where we stand and where we want to go. Uh, this is another very recent report from Australian Strategic Policy Institute few months back, and they have listed 64 critical technologies based on high impact research. And here, India ranks within top 5 in 45 of the 64 critical technologies. China is 57, which I have not written here, which is a huge increase from where it was when US was at the top number. And if you look at specifically, India is coming within 5 rank in biofuels, biological manufacturing, which concerns you advanced composite materials, AI and natural language processing, 6% of the publications from in top publications, quantum cryptography, I'll mention a little bit, cyber security, quantum sensing, drones and robotics. So there are many other critical and emerging technologies where we need to really see how we come in the top 5. So that's what I said. China leads in 57 of the 64 and US leads the rest 7. These are the areas where we need to work on. Namely, if you look at R&D expenditure as percentage of GDP, India is about 0.7%, pretty modest as compared to other economies. And researchers per million, which is a good number, full-time equivalent, is also not surprisingly low. It's like 260 per million as compared to South Korea, which is 9,000 per million. So what it means is that we need to spread our R&D base much, much more than being concentrated in few institutes. So this is what R&D expenditure by private sector is very modest in India. It is about 36% as compared to other economies, which is almost 70 to 80%. So this is one area we need to work on, how we can encourage the private sector to invest in R&D from the 36% to at least 50% in coming years. So the technology vision of 2047, what will it be? Research, development, innovation is of course the prime focus. Epicenter for R&D, India should be fostering innovation that propels societal progress and economic resilience. We need to work on frontier technologies for the future, front runner of technological evolution, propelling the nation into a new era of innovation. Digital public infrastructure, which we are all proud of. We have tremendous showcasing, which we have done in G20. DPI is probably one of the best in the world. And this is where we need to work more to pioneer universal standards for digital commons. It's not only the Aadhaar or the CoWIN, but many, many platforms which have come up in digital public infrastructure and digitizing Bharat and beyond. And this is another thing where huge vision is there for 2047. And startup ecosystem for the world. We should be a preferred destination for startup, robust investments, mentorship, and a culture of entrepreneurial risk taking. Now, in all this framework, where do we come in? Where does my office comes in? So the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor was started about 20 years back. Dr. Kalam was the first PSA. Then we had Dr. Chidambaram. Then we have Dr. Vijay Raghavan, and I am the fourth one in that lineage. In our Office of PSA, we have two instruments through which we look at the technology and innovation, in addition to many other responsibilities to this office. One is the Prime Minister's Science and Technology Innovation Advisory Council, which looks at the status of various science and technology related matters, comprehend challenges, formulate interventions, and develop a futuristic roadmap by starting missions in the country on these futuristic technologies. And the another one is the Empowered Technology Group, which also looks at procurement and induction of technologies, research and development in technologies, and so on. So all the technology things come through our office if it is beyond a certain level. Now, there are many, many technologies in this contemporary world. Here is a partial list which have huge impact not only in our country but internationally. For example, advanced space technologies, we have quantum technologies, a very recent frontier, advanced communication technologies, our life almost minute to minute depends on that. 4G has been now we are in 5G, 6G and open RAN. Digital transformation I mentioned, and in this AI and cyber security are the key components. Clean energy technologies, because we are heading towards net zero carbon promise by 2070 as promised by our honorable Prime Minister. Biomanufacturing, biosecurity and One Health. These are some of the things where we are looking at it, and we need to really see how we enhance our momentum. Now, many missions have been launched in the last few years under a Prime Minister Science Technology Innovation Advisory Council, PM STIC. I will just mention one or two. AI mission, which was started earlier, waste to wealth, natural language processing, deep ocean mission, and more recently, quantum technology mission, which has been rolled out, and One Health mission, which has been rolled out last year. And more recent missions which are under preparation is National Livelihood Mission, taking the technologies to the last mile, carbon capture, utilization and sequestration, CCUS to look at the carbon control, net zero carbon, and most recent, last week, we discussed very extensively cell and gene therapy, and all of us decided it should be done in a in a mission mode, and that is the one which is getting prepared, and we will send it to the usual cabinet note and so on. So these are the few things. Just wanted to give you a sense of this AI One Health mission, which looks at human health, animal health, and environment together. We have all learned from COVID that there is no wall between these three. We need to take a holistic view, and 11 departments are coming together to work on this. Already it has been launched. The Apex committee is chaired by the Honorable Minister, Shri Nadda ji, co-chaired by PSA, and there are other committees. And all these departments are looking at One Health, and what we are looking at is the gaps which are there, and how do we mesh the gaps between different departments and their placing themselves in One Health mission. And this is what is being led by ICMR, and One Health Institute in Nagpur is the body which we look at. And it has NGOs, private sector, multilateral organizations, academic institutes, G20, public engagement, all of them are part of this to make a holistic thing. It has a lot of technology needs. Needless to say, this is a very small section on that, be it on pandemic preparedness, be it on integrated surveillance, be it on strengthening routine prevention and joint outbreak response. It looks at the targeted R&D for vaccine diagnostics, therapeutics, nimble stockpile management system, tools for linking local outbreaks to the information system, and so on. And this is a holistic approach which this mission has taken to take it forward. Next one, which happened last week, I thought I'll give you a feel because you are the most relevant audience for this. This is the focus drive on cell and gene therapy. As you know that FDA has almost 450 cell and gene therapies approved. In India, we have two approved CAR T cell products, and these are the two companies, ImmunoAct and Immunonil, IIT Bombay and CMC Vellore. They are all academic partners in the cell therapy thing and gene therapy. And there is no gene therapy approved by CDSCO till date, and this is what we need to really push. So it has a lot of verticals which I have written, enhance India's capabilities, robust regulatory, manufacturing and clinical ecosystem, affordable and accessible therapies, and so on. And these are the pillars of this mission which is being worked out. And this is where we think that India should be a very serious player in coming years on scale in this personalized medicine approach at an affordable cost. As you know, that these therapies cost up something like 60 lakhs to 2 crores, which is unaffordable in India. And our goal is to reduce to a fraction of the cost. And the dream, I'll say dream, is if it can come within 5 lakhs, which is what this our scheme is. We are bit away from it. I don't think, but it's not only a dream. Things are working. It has almost come to tens of lakhs now, and I'm sure once it goes on scale, there is a great hope. The second point, which I will touch upon today, which is artificial intelligence. And all of you have been listening for the last 1 week on television, this breakthrough disruptive innovation in the recent last 1 week. So I thought it is timely to see how do we place ourselves in this huge disruptive technology called AI. First, let me just remove this myth that it is a recent one. It's not a recent technology. Work has been going on from the early 1950s. It's not a 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month discovery. It started with symbolic AI, where we had rule-based system and logic. Then came machine learning in 90s and 2000 up to 10. Neural networks resurgence came. And then came the present one, 2010 onwards, deep learning algorithms, the transformer models, and all those have come, and more recently, the generative AI. So this is a progression, but now the growth is more than exponential even. The things are happening almost on a weekly basis. And this is where we need to see what do we need for AI. AI thrives on 3 core pillars. One, we should have the compute resources, we should have data, and we should have applications. All these 3 are the backbones or the core pillars of AI. So we need to bridge the digital divide in the country. We need to invest in AI education and skill development, and we need to foster the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. Enormous scope, and lots of it is happening as we speak in India. Just taking you 1 week back, you must have heard that there is we need, as the Trump administration announced, that Stargate, I think that's what called Stargate, if I'm not wrong, $500 billion investment in AI and so on by the private sector. Why? Because the large language models or the multi-language models need huge resources and huge power consumption, all those things that go with it. And this is where the hype was that only very rich private industries can do it. That was the kind of a sense being created. And that's when we had OpenAI, GPT-4, Dala E3, Llama 2 by Meta, IBM Watson, AWS AI, Microsoft Azure and AI. This is all was about 1 week old news. What happened then? This news sprang up on everyone's mobile TV that now we have DeepSeek R1. This is the Chinese company. ByteDance, again another one. And they claim, I'm saying I am being very careful, they claim that they have invested only $5.6 million. This is like 50 crores. It may not be the full amount, but anyway, there is a debate. If you just Google it, you will be inundated by all the discussion on this. It may not be 5.6, even if it is 56, even 10 times more, even then it's a very small fraction of the huge thing which had been discussed. So what it means is that unless you have disruptive R&D, which is the theme of your research day, you cannot simply run a rat race. You should not run a rat race. You have to think disruptively. You have to think how, with the brain power, you can make a difference in making the headway. So this is an extremely good example. And if you look at the pricing, that's why $600 billion crash on the market a few days back. This one is offering 14 cents per million input tokens as compared to $2.5 by GPT-4, and output token again almost 98% reduction. This is the I would call disruptive R&D. It's not a one-day job. It has been going on. So this is a lesson for all of us. Do not get discouraged by these huge numbers which our multinationals and big corporates put, sometimes just to put you off from the R&D mission, and this is something a great thing. So I forgot the time. There is no watch here. Okay. So see, since in my previous life I was a professor, there is a danger. So I don't want to get into that of 45-minute slot. So you will, no, I was looking for a watch. I don't have a watch. Okay. So I just thought in this whole scene of AI, when everyone is concerned, including the leadership and every country, you know that France has a AI summit on 11 February, chaired by France and co-chaired by India. Our Honorable Prime Minister is going. And so what you can see is a sense, you can definitely feel it is a moment of a disruptive mission happening, because AI will touch all walks of life, all walks, without a exception. So what is our revolution for Viksit Bharat? So we have a India AI mission being led by MITI, launched a few months back with sizable resources, which will look at compute capacity. It will look at application development initiative. It will look at startup financing, data set platform, absolutely critical. How do you have the data set which can really have a flow by respecting all the privacy, all your monetization, everything which go with the data? How do you manage that? Non-trivial. It will have an innovation center, future skills, and most important, safe and trusted AI. So AI for all includes privacy, ethical considerations, and security. These are the three major pillars on which our AI will be based. And for that, we had some time back a committee. There is a empowered group on AI, which I chair. And our group had a subcommittee which has made a report on AI governance principle. I encourage all of you to look at that. It is for public consultation till 27 February 2025. It is on MITI's website. please go there, see that we have covered all aspects. But if you think something is not covered, do write back. So it has principles like transparency, accountability, safety, reliability and robustness, privacy and security, fairness and non-discrimination, human-centered values and do no harm as the working principle, inclusive and sustainable innovation, and digital by design. This is our key thing even in DPI. You see that when you have all this billion transactions a month on your digital one, there is no human intervention. When you send your certificates from this to someone else, there are no human intervention. It is all by techno-legal framework. And the same techno-legal framework will be there in AI so that we don't have this huge backlog due to human intervention, and it will be done. These are the, I will not contemplate on to operationalize AI governance principle. We will examine AI using a life cycle approach, which means you have a developer, you have a user, and you will have further applications. How will it be there? How do we take all life cycle approach, all actors, leveraging technology, enabling effective compliance with existing legal framework. Trust me, there are enough legal guardrails for us to deal with the privacy violation and so on. They need to be applied, and industry commitment we have written. So I thought at this stage I'll mention one or two examples on how this is making a difference. For example, in healthcare, which is most relevant for this audience, in all these, AI is central. Rare disease and diagnostic, I mentioned cell and gene therapy, drug development, cancer research, health monitoring and wearables, medical diagnosis, personalized healthcare, virtual nursing, gene editing, and so on. All this AI is central, and good news is that it's already happening a lot in India. Just I'll give you one or two examples, not to say that these are the only ones, but just to give you a feel that we are not talking in air, things are happening. For example, Meghalaya Cancer Center, already AI for early detection of cancer through population level screening for oral, breast, cervical, lung and esophageal cancer. This is the collaboration with Apollo Tele Foundation and World Economic Forum. Because World Economic Forum also has an AI platform, and there is a apex body, and I chair that. So this is under that. A lot of things are happening. Cancer imaging biobank in collaboration with DBT, Niti Aayog and hospitals, again providing data for deep learning researchers and image processing and so on. So these are just two examples, many more are there. And this is probably the most recent. I got an email from IPR, Plasma Research Institute, that this has been approved. This is jointly developed by ICMR, DHR and IPR. Deep CXR tool for AI-based screening for differentiating normal and abnormal chest X-ray images. All this is something last week, so I thought I must say how happy occasion it is when things are rolling out. Now, you will all agree that we need to have an approach from one size fits all model to personalized care. So we have a concept of digital twin, which is a virtual representation of a real object. You can make your digital twin of your body. And now the question is, with this 10,000 genome sequence, which was unveiled about a month back by Honorable Minister, done by DBT and institutions affiliated to that, and they have now 10,000. They will have many more in coming years. We have the genetic information. Now, is it the right time to think of digital genetic twin instead of just the digital twin? This is a thought for all of you. Think about it. Can we do that? Predictive analytics, tailoring treatments, personalized treatment plans, and clinical trials. This is something I thought I should congratulate AIIMS, because you have a center of excellence by Ministry of Education along with IIT Delhi, I guess, which is again, as we speak, it's happening. And again, there are agriculture and sustainable cities, other centers of excellence. So what I wanted to convey, mighty AI mission is not the only one. Many other efforts are going on which are synergistic, and many institutes, the leading research institutes like AIIMS, IITs, IISc, all are playing a role in all the verticals of compute, developing the models and applications. So this is another thing I noticed when I was looking at my talk, actually to be honest, 2 days back. I have to admit I didn't have much time, but when I came across AI Smart Labs, which was inaugurated probably last year, I was very happy to see that how AIIMS is progressing in the right direction with looking at automated sample processing, predictive analysis, quality control, results prioritization, workflow optimization. Absolutely fabulous. And this is where I think many more centers should take a lead. All your AIIMS, not only AIIMS Delhi, which is of course the mother hospital institute, but all AIIMS should take a lead. And all other institutes should really, state government and central government, R&D institution and hospital should really take a lead to make smart labs where AI will play a very important role. Last point, when all this is the data economy, please remember we have a huge threat, and that is the threat of cybersecurity. I cannot be emphasizing this in an institute which was a victim of cybersecurity last year. I know, I hope a lot of care has been already taken after that. And this is a real threat. You will have lakhs of attacks every minute, every day happening on your system. You have to be one up on your adversaries. So AI for cybersecurity has a big role to play, and cybersecurity for AI both have the roles. They have to play a role, and they are playing a role in our ecosystem. So I think all this is a great news for us to be looking at various applications and cyber security at the top. Oh, this is something which is close to my heart, because there is a new and disruptive technology happening as we speak. Next 3 years, you will see whatever the buzz you see for AI will be for quantum technologies. Watch out. What is this quantum technology? Why is everyone concerned? Why it is a national strategy now? Because all your encryptions in your cell phone, in all your computers, financial transactions, all those codes depend on some mathematically hard problems, which the people cannot crack, and hence your transaction is safe. For example, factorization of a number. If you take 21, primitive calculation will tell you 3 into 7 is the answer. But if your number is so large, your adversary cannot factorize them in the time when the universe exists. And that's why you say my transactions are secure. That is the whole idea of encryption. All those things will become vulnerable once quantum computers come on the scene. Quantum computers can break the present 128 AES key in just few minutes. Just few minutes. If the quantum computers are they become available up to the right quality, and this is the biggest fear all countries have. How your health data, financial data, all your strategic locations, all your power sector, all will be compromised, the data, if we do not have quantum safe algorithms. And this is the big game, big thing. It is a new technology, relatively new, and country has started working on it. I will just not give you a lesson on what quantum technology is. On some other good day, I'll tell you. But what it means is, can we have quantum supremacy? Problems which cannot be solved by classical computers. For example, photosynthesis is a problem which is staring at our face. Why? Because it's the most efficient synthesis by Mother Nature. Can we understand it? Can we mimic it? Once these quantum computers become available, there is a hope we can go in that direction. The drug discovery, all those things are the ones which quantum computers will do. Quantum sensing already coming up to have very, very sensitive measurements of the signal from brain, from heart, everything which is now, it's a reality. Some commercial products are already there, quantum sensing and so on. For this, National Quantum Mission has been launched last year. It is run by Department of Science and Technology, and other ministries are part of it, and Office of PSA is deeply involved in this. So let me close this meeting, this talk, that we need to embrace science, technology, and innovation for the holistic development of our nation. We need basic science, we need enabling technologies, and we need innovative ideas, including business model. Please don't take it out. All these three things together to make a difference in the development of our nation. And that's what you and I all work for it. We are all here, and I am very sure institute like AIIMS will continue to play a very decisive and leading role. And we look forward to many, many more discoveries from this institute and your associated institutes. And I'm sure coming years will see a lot of it. With this, let me thank you once again for this wonderful opportunity I had to speak with you on this theme, to put India in this S&T landscape where we are, where what our aspirations are, and where we all need to work to make this Viksit Bharat. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So your previous avatar as a professor has blown a gust of fresh air through this university. Your encouragement for disruptive research and thinking is, I think, appropriate for the research day. Thank you very much, sir.